Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Going on, everybody.
We're back to talk Netflix's The Mole. This is season 2, week 1. So this was episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Full review, spoilers. Make sure you're liked and subscribed here. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all your mole coverage, Netflix coverage, and reality TV coverage. Okay, Brian, week 1 of The Mole. Now, we were a little hard on this show last season. I think we had fair criticisms. I think this was a mixed bag start. They put a lot of production value into this show for sure. I think the challenges are creative. They definitely, again, put a ton of money. They have them going all over Malaysia and skyscrapers and heists and stuff. And I do think they do the theming well. I think the cast is a little better than last year's cast in certain ways, but I'm just going to lead with what I think everyone should be talking about, Brian. These people are allergic to winning money. They don't want money. They don't understand what they're there for, Brian. They need to watch this show. They need your catchphrase. It is a game show for money. And Q, I think if Q is the mole, he's doing like the best job of all time. But that dude is like the voice of the audience, right? He's just like, guys, please stop. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here. I took off of work for this. Like, I need to win money.
Yeah, Q is probably the only thing saving me on the season. But other than that, I'm not really enjoying it, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. If he's the mole, then that might pull me back in because he's doing a great job acting. But other than that, everything I had a problem with last season, they didn't really fix. And I was just, like you said, the dumbness. I can't stand the dumbness where it's just like you're so willy nilly willing to throw away money. There needs to be more of a consequence for these actions where they're just going to get six. They just bring it back the next challenge. Oh, you'll win 60,000 and you really only lost 500 or something. Like I just,
I'm
that's,
gonna
it's, I don't love it.
I'm gonna make the meme, Brian. Like basically Q is like Falcone in the Dark Knight, and then you got like Hannah and Tony or the Joker just burning piles of money. Like they don't give a F. They're like, this isn't about money. Like, this is about getting on perfect
Yeah, it's all
match.
about perfect match. For those two, definitely perfect match. Hannah is like, well, I get anything I want with my looks. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I don't know. Like
Not
you said,
being, I mean, this is not what we do on this show, but like she is not top tier Netflix
no,
like women that we have
no,
seen roll
no.
through. Like we have a lot meaner and conniving and a lot more appealing. Let's just say that. She's just
Yeah,
like a blonde chick.
she's not. Yeah, obviously she's a good looking girl, but like
Yeah,
compared to like what we
obviously.
see
Just
on
like
other shows, I mean, you're not breaking the bank, but also like, yeah, I guess for the show, but man, and like just Tony's a dummy, and
Toby might be the biggest dumb dumb of all time. Like unless he's the mole, then
well, Tony's out.
again, oh yeah, you're right. He just went out,
Tony
guys.
just was like the last,
Just went out.
and that's what pissed
He
me off.
just
And
finished
she's
it.
like
Sorry, guys. I'm like,
crying. She's crying, and
I like that. I do like the frankly that they did end the Tony Hannah thing after 1 week. Like the weird couple stuff. They're not a
yeah, they
couple.
were like making out already. I'm like, it's episode 3, man. That's what has it been, 3 days? I think that's
That's
nuts.
where the acting stuff comes
Yeah.
in. Like
That's my
that.
biggest problem with the show. I feel like everyone is a terrible actor except for Q if he's the mole.
I
Q's
mean,
either a normal person being a normal person or he's the greatest, he's an awesome mole. So Q's my number one. When Andy went home, Andy was my biggest loss. I loved Andy. Everybody knows they're
Andy was
watching.
funny.
They need more age like diversity on
Older
shows.
dudes.
And
We get
Andy
rid of
was
old people so fast in these shows,
yeah,
and
and to me, when the young people stay around, that's when I'm not buying that they're here to play the game. They're like when they're like Tony's like, I don't care about money. Like, why are you on the show then? You're just trying to be on the show to be famous or get exposure.
please
Like,
don't say that. And guess what? Netflix, do us a
cut it out. Just
favor.
edit that out.
Edit that out.
Yeah.
Just edit it out. You guys have the final power. Edit out the crap. Well, you did a better job. I'll say this. The confessionals were the by far the worst part of season 1 because every confessional always started with, well, if I were the mole,
Yeah, I hated that.
or it's like, or they would say they would give a thing. It's like, or would I? It's
Yeah,
like,
that
no,
brutal.
stop it. So even if they did it again, thank you for cutting the beginning and ends out because I literally said last season I was going to watch season 2 without watching any confessionals, but I did watch them and you guys did a better job with that for sure. I do want to run through some of the people like we've mentioned a lot, so we won't spend too much time. Deanna, do you think Deanna could be the mole?
She's the sleuth, right? The internet sleuth.
Yeah, the internet sleuth. Yeah, she's funny.
uh yeah, but see, like I feel like she plays with emotion, so it makes me think she's not the mole.
Andy obviously isn't the mole. If Hannah's the mole, I guess she's doing a good job, right? But she's being a very like hide in plain sight mole. I mean, that sitting challenge thing was all time. That's why it was funny because when me and I were texting, you finished before me, and I was like, this is entertaining as shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm loving this part. I was like, go to zero. And it didn't. But thankfully, at the end, we ended up at zero. And who do you think did that?
What do you mean?
Who do you think bid the whole thing?
Oh, I think it's Mike.
Dude, Michael wants to
Because
watch
Mike,
sport.
the thing about Mike that actually is like, I don't love when people are trying to be the mole, but he's already like people already think he's the mole, like this guessing game or the quiz you have to take. So at that point, I guess you do that to like get people guessing the wrong answers, but that means you still need to answer better than other people too. But man, I don't love that the money just goes. That's
You mentioned this pre-show, Brian, and I think this honestly is a point to bring up now here too. Is like I like the mole, but there's a reason why the Traders is a better show than the mole, right? The invulnerability of the mole is kind of weird, right? It doesn't incentivize good gameplay. They're getting paid regardless. For all we know, like I said, like Hannah's the mole, like what does she care? I'll take all your money. I'm not getting up. I don't care. What do I care? There's 0% chance I get eliminated. I already got my 50K they're paying me to be the mole, or I can't win the 250. So what do I care? Traders, you got to get to the end. Like you got to survive, right? You have to. And you brought up a point I think you should bring up now about like maybe they should incentivize the
yeah. I think
mole.
that because I looked all over the internet. I went on Reddit. I was looking for people, just maybe some inside people. Like I don't know what
So
the mole.
Logan, you're watching. Help us
Yeah,
out
I don't
here.
know what the mole gets paid. If they get paid, I'm assuming they have to get paid if they're on the show. But I need some incentive because or I know that people who love this show, I wouldn't mind knowing who it is, seeing them be calculating and like being in that sit down challenge, like in a confessional, like, hey, like Bill, you said also on pre-show, if I can get this incentive of 5 people stand up at this time, I get an extra 10,000 or something, or like them saying like I'm going to start fights, then I would be interested. But when so many people are acting so stupid, and one of them is the mole, but 4 other people are being brain dead idiots, it really takes me out of the show.
Yeah, dude, I just thought about this. I didn't bring this up, but it's like the different incentives and now how they get to the quiz each week, right? I would love for when they get to the quiz each week, they go this host, and we'll get to the host next.
Oh,
D minus Anderson Cooper. But if he was like, your prize pool is at 45K and the moles is now at 75. You're like, what the
yeah,
what?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what did he like? That would be like a mind F, right? Like theirs went down to, like at the end of this episode, they're down to zero. What if they found out you were at 79? Guess what? Every dollar that was drained went straight to the mole. Like you said, now the mole's at 125K. And they're like, what is happening? Like, this is horrible. And but it's tough because there's no way to get them, right? Like,
Well, that would you'd have to take away the immunity for
wait,
our
and then
ideas.
we talk about the allergic to money, right? Like, these guys are a-holes, right? They 8 out of 9 people watch the video. What do you get out
Yeah,
of knowing what someone's strategy
I
would
completely agree, man.
be?
That was the biggest waste of money. And they're like, well, maybe the mole doesn't need to watch the videos.
You had a heart attack.
I watched the videos. I watched what videos we saw. Obviously, they're dumb. They're dumb. The mole would be if that's the thing. The incentive there, the mole would be like, that's the easiest $45,000 I've ever made in my life. People just watching videos or that got you nowhere. Yeah, there's. I don't want to sound. I really don't want to sound negative because people like the show, people watch the show, but it just I don't know. We watch a lot of reality TV, and I don't like watching stupid people. And I feel like this show promotes stupidity a lot of the time.
This show promotes stupidity, and if you're anyone like us who has to or chooses to quickly binge through this, you saw like 7 bad decisions in a 4-hour block of content. It was like bang, 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 bang. I was cracking up. They're like 3.5 episodes in, and that one they're at like 15K, and then they got themselves up to 40K, and in 8 minutes lost it all.
Mm.
Like, yeah, so you say Michael. I think Deanna is a candidate, and I also think Ryan is a candidate too. Ryan's been a little sleuthy herself. Now, she may be a candidate for someone who's trying to
No,
like the mole, just like our boy Sean, though Undercover cop where? Like in like suburban like US, because that dude would have got hung up and done if he was like trying to be in a cartel or something. Like that dude is not sneaky.
Or unless unless he's playing the part.
Like he's double bluffing, like he wants
Yeah.
to come off like a bad mole because he is the mole, and this if they think he's a bad mole, they're not gonna think like what Michael was saying basically in his confessional. I
Mhm.
hope so. That's what that would be. Now, look, I want to not next week, but the week after when we have the finale review, I want to be like, let's go. Like that was sneaky. That's why I want it to be like Q or like yeah. Listen, it won't be good if it's Muna. Like Muna's been sussed out really bad. Michael, if he's really doing a double trick, then yeah. But if not, he's getting sussed out. That's why I'm almost hoping it's Hannah at this point, or Q. Q, it's like Bravo. But if like there's some of them now where like if it's Muna, I'm gonna be disappointed because I'm like everyone sussed you out. If it's niche, like I
Just niche. First episode when he was like, "How did you not hit any on the slingshot?" I'm like, "You can't see anything, man." Like I just
bro,
that first
slingshots
chat.
are hard.
What'd you say?
Slingshots are hard.
Yeah, I agree. And you can't also have no line of vision and you can't see. Like I just thought he annoys me. I find
And
him
you
very
sent out your 70-year-old dude Andy like out to do it. Like,
yeah, and
okay.
but like the thing about Nisha that really annoys me is, and I think Q brought it up when they were doing that treasure hunt where they like find the thing was hanging above, and he just wouldn't stop talking.
Oh my God, he's like
That
one of
would I would that would annoy the hell out of me. Good job, man. Good job. Let's look over here. Like that's what I mean. It's the acting. They're acting, and it's terrible.
who brought it? It was like Tony and it was either like Tony and Sean, right? Were they the three that were
It was
doing the
Tony, Niche, and Q.
yeah, and it's like they're like, dude, this guy won't shut up.
Yeah,
And
it
he
was
did lead them the wrong
brutal.
way. He did lead them the wrong. The only listen, if Niche ends up being the mole, I'm gonna be annoyed because he didn't really. I call BS if they do that like how they get to the end and they start showing everything they did. If he claims credit for like speaking up in the very beginning and getting voted the first leader,
Yeah,
I call BS.
yeah.
There's no way he knew if he just like spoke that like people were gonna jump. Like I anything else that happens, I think he can claim credit for. But if he claims credit for that bullshit. I'm sorry. Like I
Right.
didn't credit the whole episode, but bullshit.
I'm also annoyed that not one of those people got through the thing. I
Well,
don't understand
yeah.
that.
Well, that last paintball shot, like that was crazy. That was crazy. Like
Yeah,
that was good. I mean, I'll give him credit. Like that was a while. Well, he didn't do the shot, but I mean, was it?
it was Ryan.
I thought it was a girl with the last shot.
I thought it was, isn't Ryan a girl? Ryan's a girl, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Ryan. It was Ryan.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, I would have bum rushed that end, send like two people out, and then you just dive on behind. There's cover. They were just running straight. I just, yeah, there's just so much stuff.
Ryan is the mole too. I made the last shot on purpose to build trust. It's like, no, you didn't. Like, you didn't.
Right, you were safe no matter what happened. You're fine. Who cares? You didn't care if you hit the shot or not. It's just, I don't know. I'm sad Andy left. There's just people that I just think when it starts to get that young cast, I can't take anything they say seriously anymore.
Listen, I didn't hate it, right? Like I really didn't. If I hated it, there's no way I would have finished it in basically one sitting. Like besides the fact that I had to because we're reviewing it, it would have been I would have told Brian like, bro, we're reviewing this on Monday. Like I'm
I
not rushing to do this type of thing. Like
Unfortunately I didn't
on
really
Monday.
enjoy it and I sat through it in one sitting. Can we get to the host? I need to like this dude
Oh
up.
shit, yeah, we forgot about Demonis Anderson Cooper.
Okay. Ari, man, I was really big on the host not having any personality or any like flair last season. And I was like, okay, cool. Saw who it was, didn't know the guy, but like I was like, okay, I'm ready. He stunk. He to me, to me,
Laugh out loud bad.
laugh out loud bad. And if AI was made into a person, I think it would be this guy.
Bro,
No
this
emotion on anything he said. It just everything was brutal. I hated him. I think he might be worse than the chick.
bro,
He
he
stunk. He stunk.
supposed to be like a real journalist, right? I
Yeah,
thought.
I looked him up.
Am I
I think
wrong?
I think he actually might have worked with Andy Cooper, which is funny that you said that. Yeah,
I
I thought he was bad. I thought he was awful.
I'm like I feel like I'm sipping crazy juice here. Like, cause I thought he was so. this show doesn't ask a lot of you either. But like
Yeah.
again, I
So
hate
vanilla.
doing it, but this is the traders is just a better version of the mole. Like any version of the traders has a more committed host. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't need to be a freaking what's his name, Alan Cummings, but like even the chick on UK, like
she's
she
good. She's really
is
good.
the vibe. She's takes it seriously. It's not just like, oh, welcome to this town. Like,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. Like it was brutal during that fortune cookie challenge.
bro,
Like just all
like
of it.
he wasn't reacting to anything that was happening. Like he wasn't going, oh, or that's brutal, or like, listen, I make fun of Jeff now because he just narrates everything and he just, but at least when something bad is like, that's a
Yeah.
brutal mistake. It's like, yeah, thank you. At least you're saying what we're all seeing,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Not
we're hard
like
on Jeff because we've watched him for 40 seasons, so we've seen the highs and the lows. So like
seen
he's
Jeff for
still a
like
good,
50
he's still
calendar years
technically
of
a
our
good
life.
host. He's a great host. He's not a good producer, he's a great host. But it just posts matter. And I'm thinking of a lot of the shows we watch, and I would say a lot of the hosts are really good. And it's crazy that like this show, two people, they stink. And
Here's a statement, Brian, and we'll clip this. We're gonna start clipping our episodes a little more, even putting the clips out on YouTube, I think. I don't say this often because very highly respect what hosts, producers, and people have to do on these shows. I could host that show better than him.
same.
100%. I could host that show better than him. And I don't even know if I've actually ever said that. Like I've always like broken balls, but I did know that I could because you just need to say you need to do what Q's doing. You need
Yeah, you
the
need some
host to be
emotion,
like
like yeah,
the mole's beating you guys down.
yeah,
That was a pretty pitiful performance, guys. Like,
yeah, I
do you
agree.
not want to win money? Like that type of stuff. Like you say that with the straight face of these people because then you need to inflame them a little bit against each other too. You need to point out it's like for the first time in mole history, the pot has gotten to zero this far in. You're on pace to have the worst pot in mole history. The mole right now is on pace to be the best mole in history. Like, just say that kind of
Yeah.
crap. Like,
Yeah, whoever did that bid, you need to question him. Like, why did you do it? Like there's no pushback on anybody's decisions, and like at all.
Jeff would be grilling
Yeah,
Hannah and Tony. Do you not? Are you not trying to win? Why are you here? Yeah, maybe or even just something like time to go back to house. Time maybe also to question some of your castmates' intentions. Like something.
yeah,
It's just nothing. See you at the next cocktail
yeah,
party.
yeah.
Like
You guys are going to be waiters, and four of you are going to be back house, and
gonna
five of you are going
spend
to be
$80,000 on this challenge. Like,
yeah. And then again, another thing that I absolutely hate is this thing.
thank
I
you.
hate this thing. I hated it last season. I think it's so corny and stupid. And like these idiots, when they look at their phone and they're like, oh, it's green. And it's like this. They're like, this is what, like, again, I'm doing another video, but this is it, Bill.
This is
Like,
live, Brian. This is live.
oh, oh, look, it's green. It's green.
Right.
Oh,
Everyone, this is like our example. Brian's like, it's like, what girl color?
like, make it more enjoyable. And they all look at it and like, they're like this. They're like, yes, yes, I made it. Man, so much, man. I would change on the show, and I'm really sorry if people really enjoy the show. But man, we watch so much TV, and I think this is like a D tier show to me right now. Currently, I know you're different, but to me, it's D tier.
No, Brian, this is like what the best the thing I'll call the mole. It's like I love I like crappy movies, right? Like I love watching like real cult this show is right now. I'm enjoying it because I have so much to like rag on and complain about, right? But like if
Yeah,
I had to take this serious, if I were like a mole apologist, like I'm struggling here, right? I'm like Kyle. Shout out.
I was just gonna say that. I'm
I'm
really
like
interested to see what Strat Chat says. I know.
I'm like Kyle trying to defend Big Brother Canada. They just canceled it. You know what I mean? Like that's like where you're at
Yeah,
if you're
I'm
apologizing.
very interested to see their reaction because
Are they gonna do the
if you
mole?
guys anybody's watching this, definitely check out our friends at Strat Chat. They're a great podcast, good
Friends of the
people.
show.
Check those guys out.
They do it live.
Definitely different than us, but I think that's why we're friends with
You
them.
want your positivity. It's like sweet and sour.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
the
I'm the
dark
sour
side.
devil all the time, but
You're the dark side.
I'm
Well,
interested to
no,
see
Brian,
that.
the more I'm talking, the more negative I'm getting. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah, and
be so
that's
positive.
one of the reasons I'm hesitant about coming on here on some of these shows. Like, I want to like the show, and I don't mean to like come on here. Like, why are you reviewing something you don't like?
I'm gonna watch it no
I
matter what.
mean, I
We're
just,
not.
I,
No one's gonna. I don't think we don't very often. We don't. First of all, nowhere in this review do we tell anyone not to watch the show.
no, you should
So
definitely watch the show.
watch the show. I
Gather
think
your
it's
own opinions.
fun. Just don't binge it if you don't have to. Like seriously,
Yeah,
like if you have like the bear just came back, everybody like watch the bear like over this. Like, like I'll say that. So let's be real for a minute. If it's not raining and pouring where you're at, like go outside maybe first.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'd like to see what some of the other people say that
Yeah, I want
we value
commenters.
their
Please let
opinions.
us know. We know we have like a very we not like for Mole. I know it's more of a niche audience here. So for Mole, hey, look, and cast members, we know cast members watch. If we're crapping on you and you think we are a-holes or wrong, or you think the edit showed you wrong, open door, as you see with a lot of our other shows, a lot of cast interviews. So, like I said, doors always open. Netflix people, doors always open. Would love to get in on
Andy,
some of.
doors open.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Andy was my number one. Love Andy.
Oh, also Ari, if you're somehow watching this, which you're no way in
I
hell
don't know,
you.
man. I don't know if I can lie through that interview.
No, we're not gonna lie. We're just gonna be like, were you not enthused? Like, were you not entertained?
I just called that guy AI.
Okay, we've called people worse than that, and they've come on the show. So, like I said at the top, make sure you like, subscribe here, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Summer is starting to heat up. Like I said, we are watching this. We are watching both Love Island USA and UK. If you're watching USA, we just had an elimination. We have Casa Amor coming this week. So if you're not even a Love Island person, this is the perfect time to jump into the season. We're gonna have a Bachelorette preview. We will also have Claim to Fame coming up as well. That starts, I think, same week or a week after Bachelorette.
July
So,
10th. It's on my birthday.
oh, sick. So July is going to be a good month for reality TV. But for myself, Brian, thank you so much for watching. Peace.